minutes and financials from April 8th. Has everyone had a chance to go over the meeting minutes and financials from the April 8th meeting?
Yes.
I have.
Okay, any corrections or additions?
I have none.
Okay.
Motion to accept minutes.
And financials? I'm gonna group
We
it
don't vote
together.
on them once yet.
Sure.
Motion to accept minutes and financial.
I'll second.
Yes.
Okay, Laura, roll call.
Yes.
Ed,
Yes.
Tiffany,
Yes. All right, communications. I just have one quick communication. We did have our retirement party for Chuck Little and Tim McCoy. It was a big success. It was a really nice party. Everyone seemed to have a good time. So I just want to thank everyone who helped and participated in the association with that. It was, I think, a nice occasion. So thank you to everyone who participated.
I have one communication, just from the Portage County Land Bank. They sent us notification of how many houses they took down last year and renovated the property, the ground, to get it back on the tax, all that stuff. If anybody wants to see that, you can look at it. Grants, they gave out $481,000 in grants last year. They collected $384,184 in delinquent tax and assessment collections. This is property that hadn't paid and everything. They helped collect that. This is all money they put back into a program. So anyone need to look this over and everything. They're a pretty good organization. They just tore a house down in 224, just east of the circle. They took possession of it because of back taxes not being paid. They deemed it was not repairable under their standards, so they removed the structure. Now the property will be available for someone else to use, build, whatever. They'll end up selling that piece of property. So that's really all I have.
I got an email from Ohio Department of Transportation, and the intersection at the skating rink where we've had all the accidents, we are going to have a roundabout put in there in 2028. But in the meantime, ODOT did a study, and they're going to add cross-traffic does not stop signs on State Route 225 and Alliance Road, because the majority of the accidents are people pulling out of either Alliance or 225 onto 224, which doesn't stop without secure distance, and that's what's causing the accidents. So they're going to put those signs up, and that's kind of like a little temporary Band-Aid until the roundabout goes up. But the sign should be up by the end of June. So.
That seems to be a big cause of incidents. I see everybody kind of nodding. So hopefully that will be helpful, yeah. Okay. Anything else? Any other you guys have any communications?
I have some more, but they come up under different places.
Oh, okay. Oh, we can do that one later. Okay. Let's see here. Public commentary. We did have someone sign up today, but she was unable to attend. Did you want to read? Go ahead.
Sure.
Yeah.
She just wants to know, can the Historical Society has a vinyl banner, and they want to know if they can put that back up at the Deerfield, or at the Old Town Hall.
That was
It
Kay
says-
Anderson.
Kay Anderson,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm fine with that.
I have no problem
No
with that.
reason they can't.
No reason they can't. So, Kay, when you watch this, yes, you may put the banner back up at the Old Town Hall. Anyone else with public commentary? Going once, going twice?
No, we have a hand up.
All right. Name and address. If
Or
you'll
just
sign
your
it,
name.
if you'll sign it for us afterwards,
Okay.
so for our
Yeah.
records.
On that land bank, are they gonna put any addresses on there that were on there at one time that didn't get taken care of? The one on-
They have no addresses or anything on this report.
The one on Few Town.
It's just revenue that they've taken in and put out and that type of stuff. But they do have the address and stuff available up there.
Or- I remember that one time I talked to the lady that was the county auditor or something like that, and she was is here.
Yeah, they're working together, Mr. Auditor and the Commissioners and the Land Bank, and they're actually doing a pretty good job. But in this report, they don't include any addresses of what they've done, what they want to do, what they could not do, things like that. But they have that available up there.
Well, this is one that was on there and never nothing happened to it. No, on a few times.
Yeah, that's a good point. Nothing ever. We'll check on that. See. Ask me next meeting. I'll see what I can find out. I remember we talked about that before.
Absolutely.
Sometimes they get involved in this because of back taxes, and whoever the previous owner was catches the taxes up, and then that starts them all over again too.
The
So
house has got to go down.
yeah, it's got to go down.
Yes.
Yeah, that's bad. Okay.
You know what we're talking about.
I
Yeah.
think I know exactly what you're talking about.
Thank you.
Any other public commentary? Oh, right, and if you guys would both sign when you're done, just so we can,
Okay.
it helps us follow
Okay.
up and for our records, sure.
I just want to say a huge thank you for patching those holes on Pewtown and Bandy Road, because that's my route, and it just, I mean, I know you're gonna pave it, but just what you did is a huge.
We're going to talk in depth about that and when we get to the road
Okay.
department, so you'll be happy.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
Mhm.
Road department,
I gotta go first this time?
Welcome back.
we're gonna throw you to the wolves, so, wherever anyone would like to start, we'll talk about the road department, it seemed like a good segue.
So as far as the roads go, I've only been back for just over a month. So that was one of the main projects. We started to get caught up on some of the patchwork. We patched with a little over 8-ton material, and literally did a mile and a half of road. So things were pretty rough shape, so it's gonna take us a minute to get caught up. We do plan on continuing that. We'll probably be after Memorial Day by the time we finish making the loop. Just trying to get everything ready for Memorial Day, keep some repairs on it. We wanted to kind of touch base on some stuff tonight on some projects that were discussed last year that either didn't get done or, and even as far as the grants that we applied for. So the one was the Bandy Road Pewtown resurfacing project. We were just notified a couple days ago that if funding was available on our end, we did receive a 50% grant. So if we are able to pull that off, it's a resurface. It's 2-inch of paved top on top of the repairs and a chip and seal. And they do that so that there's not a lot of crack seal and stuff going on, in the future. It gives it some extra longevity. So on that grant, our 50% is $191,000.
That's our half of it. So that's actually a pretty big grant we got. I know I talked to Tracy and Nancy, and they said we had, 80, somewhere around 80,000 we could comfortably use out of the road department right away. We get more funding in the road department in August, I think you guys said. And we do have COVID money, ARPA money left over, about $50,000. Tiffany's been looking into that. I'm pretty sure we can use that money, with the balance of the money we need out of that to do this project. I think we need to do everything we can to do this. Tim did a lot of paperwork and measuring and stuff to get all the paperwork turned in in time. We did get accepted. Initially, we got turned down, and then they came back and we did get the grant under different guise, but it's the same grant, just under a different way. And something, if we turn it down, we apply for another grant, we're probably not gonna get it, just because we agreed to do this, and now we don't do it, they're not gonna waste their time on us in the future. They're gonna give it to somebody that's willing to give up, so.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of man hours and paperwork that went into it.
And that is a paved job on Bandy Road and Pewtown Road, not chip and seal. It's a paved, repair coat, and then 2 inches over top of that?
2 inches.
And then a chip and seal over top of that. So that will make it very nice. On top of that, what you have, we have some roads we want to chip and seal too, Watson being one.
Yeah, so last year we discussed doing around 2 miles of road on the chip and seal. We ordered the stone in, that's about paid for. The roads weren't brought up to par in time during the fall, so we had to cancel that chip and seal project until, this current year, unfortunately. But Watson Road would be the main one on our chip and seal list, and then next. The worst one is that section of German Church between Bandy Road and Watson. I know it's been a battle with the county trying to figure out who owns what. Is it lane miles? Is it north of the road? Is it south of the road? I know there's been a lot of discussion for the last 10 years. And sometimes they own it, sometimes they don't. And now that it's that bad, nobody's going to own it over there, from my understanding. So if we move forward with that, with the stone already being paid for, contractor bill on that, you're looking at an additional $38,000 for chip and seal on that, plus any prior repairs that we do to build up asphalt, do crossover pipes. So nothing drastic past that. But
With the stuff you'll do in-house, the crossover pipe and all that stuff,
crossover
we
pipes,
do all that
yeah.
in-house.
Yeah, build up the crossover pipes we do in-house. So with $38,000 having it chipped on, it's right around 2 miles.
One of the nice things about that grant that we accepted was, you know, we could use it conditionally. We didn't have to use all of the money. We didn't have to come up with it. It was just, you know, here it is, use it. So we want to utilize as much as we possibly can reasonably to get everything done. It's just utilizing what the best way to get that money is. So we have until the end of this year to allocate some of this money for that, but hopefully we won't have to wait that long and we can get some of that moving.
If we do decide to move forward with the resurfacing project, we will need to send a signed letter, statement letter in, stating that we have the funding and when it's approved so that it can go up in bid in June. And then they're going to accept bids till July, early July on that.
We actually have a thing to sign, but I want to make darn sure the money can be used and everything before we sign this, so. This is just a certificate that the money is available. Whenever you guys determine that we can do that, spend that money, so. Did Mike call us? I tried calling him a couple times today. Did he say how soon they want us to commit totally sooner rather than later, don't they?
Sooner, yeah, but he made it sound like as long as it was by early June.
By when?
Early June, so it could go up a bit. So, there we have that.
So how about this, with this fiscal officer does have to send a certificate in that the money is available? How about if I make a motion that once they determine that the money is available and that we can use that funds, that they go ahead and sign this and send it into the engineer's office so that it's done? Because they're the ones that have to approve the money anyway.
Sound good to you? Yeah, I'll second that. As long as we have-
That way we don't have to wait till the next meeting to do this, which will be the second week in June or something. So I'd rather get this in as soon as we can get those numbers together.
And then the only on that. on
Lori,
that-
you said yes?
Yes.
Roll call?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes?
Ed, yes. Tiffany?
Yes.
Thank you.
On the chip and seal project, the contractor left us on the list for this year since we got bumped last year. So basically it's just a phone call to verify that we still need to be put on that list. That's something that probably won't take place till close to end of August, early September. Typically that's just a later season project, especially when it depends when they're in the area, getting the rest of them. So.
All right, we can address that further in another meeting.
Other than that, that's all I have on the roads itself. I do have a few other things as far as, so the repair, the community sign is throwing a communication error, and we've reset it a few times, cannot get it to reset. I don't know if the data card's bad, what's causing that issue. So I'd like to get a service repair approved so that I can have them come out and take care of whatever it needs, get that so it can be updated. I haven't been able to update it since the 4th.
And you mentioned an estimate of a couple $100?
Yes, I figured that would be all it is. I believe we had in there probably years ago, you know, but I don't know part of that was under, I don't recall anyway if it was under warranty at that time.
We have to call the sign the people that put it in. They have someone come out and service it for us, so.
I'll make a motion that we put in a work order with Elliott Sign to get the communication error corrected.
I'll second it.
Yes?
Roll call, Laura?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Tiffany?
Yes. Anything else with road department maintenance?
No, other than on the grounds, just preparing stuff for Memorial Day. We did start, getting those veteran banners up today on 224. We have all the previous year banners are up, and we'll work on it throughout the week as the weather allows. Continue to put even the new additions as well. The mulch has been done, circle. Flags have been changed out except for the ones on the poles. We'll do them along with the banners. And then it looks like our flower baskets will be end of this week or next week.
I'm gonna call and get a firm date when they're coming. They said sometime shortly after the 15th, so we're coming up to that. I hope by the end of this week they're here. I'll call in the morning and get an exact date when they're gonna deliver.
That works.
We're all ready to put them up whenever they come, so.
That's all that I have.
The signs, did you use the new harness and the makeshift bucket truck, or how'd that work out?
Good. And we used, we did have Buddy in the shadow vehicle behind us, so this just kind of got me a little gunshot playing traffic.
And the ground bands are supposed to be ready at DeHoff's 15th or 16th. Do you guys want to pick them up? Do you want me to pick them up? What would you like to do?
The ones from D-Hobbs?
Yes.
We can get them, if you're okay with it, we can pick them up whatever day they're ready.
15th or 16th, they told me, but we should probably give them a call just to make sure.
Yep, yeah, we'll take care of it.
We can get them. We all normally do, so we know right where to go and everything, so we'll get them.
All right, very good. Anything else?
That's all I have.
All right, buildings and grounds. Well, I hope everyone noticed that the floors are shiny and pretty. They got waxed over the weekend. There is a scratch by the front we're hoping to get buffed out, but if everyone can just try to, all the clubs and the organizations that are using it can just try not to scuff and just be mindful of, trying to keep it nice as much as you can. I think that was long overdue and it looks really nice, so. I'll turn it on to you too, if you guys have anything else.
Okay, while we're in buildings and grounds, everybody knows the gazebo is ongoing. I did get an engineer, we approved a couple meetings ago to get an engineering group out to do an engineering study to see if feasible to fix it or have to come down and start all new. Anyway, here's all the engineering reports, pictures. Recommendation with Thresher Group, the gazebo structure be torn down and replaced with a new similar one that is designed and built according to the current building codes. That was their finding on this. And that is an engineering group that did that. So after I received that in the email, the next thing we have to do now, then we have to hire someone to tear that down. And we need to hire someone to tear it down that's not going to destroy our sidewalks and our circle and everything. We've got decorative sidewalks, so we can't have somebody just come in and rip it apart and tear everything up. So I have asked one guy, and I'm open for suggestions to whoever insurance is funding this stuff. Zach Granta, he will, if he successful bid on it, he'll put ground pads down. His machine won't touch the ground, won't touch the sidewalks, so be very careful when he does it. But I mean, we need more bids, so if you guys have anybody, but it's not somebody, yeah, I can tear that down. It's got to be somebody that's going to do it correctly. So it's not going to be a necessary, inexpensive job to do it right. So then, before we do that though, we have to have an architect come out and look at it and agree to do it and give us a price for doing new plans and prints and stuff. So he has to get measurements off of that, pictures, elevations, all that kind of stuff off what's remaining in the structure. Frank Pavlica is doing all our architectural work for the fire department. He was my first choice, obviously. He says he's at least 4 months out before he can start another project. So, it's been so long already, he gave me a list of 3 architects that he would feel comfortable with us using, ones he recommended. One was in North Canton, one was in East Canton, and one was in Louisville. I called the one in Louisville, his name is Norm Seeger. He's willing to come out and meet with me Wednesday. Sometime around lunchtime, he'll give me a determination of what time, and he will come out and look it over and let me know if he will in fact do this, can do it. how quick he can do this, and he will figure up a price for us doing this so we can forward it to the insurance group so we can get approval for that. And he says he can start relatively quick. So are you guys okay if I meet with him out there and see what he has to say and everything?
Sure.
It's set up for Thursday, I said Wednesday, set up for Thursday, not Wednesday. Set up for Thursday, somewhere around lunch. We have to set a specific time yet. So that'll be the first step to that. And there, I will say that the Portage County Building Department is backed way up. All these plans have to be examined. Their plan examiner is very ill, very sick. He's been off work more this year than he's worked. I know they've got a pile of blueprints already. They did hire a guy that, I don't know if he started this week or next week, he is coming in to work to try catching up on the plans examiner and stuff. So hopefully by the time we get our blueprints and stuff ready to be examined, they'll be caught up to where they can do it. Just as an update for that. So at least we're moving forward on that gazebo. That's all I have on the gazebo and everything. On buildings and grounds right here, we have a copy machine in here that's, how old, Nancy? 12 years, whatever? It's old.
It's old.
It's old. It does a good job. It's starting to give a little bit of trouble. It's breaking down here and there. Normally, these guys get it going again. But they want $595 a year for a contract for that. And they told us, what, the last 3 years, that if something breaks, they don't have any parts anyway. So, Nancy has an idea that instead of giving that company $595 and not be able to get it repaired if it does break, other than toner and stuff, let's put this money toward a good printer, copier, or whatever from Staples or Best Buy or something that we can buy, get in here. We'll still have this one, but by the time that one does break and can't be fixed, we'll have one on hand. We'll have it hooked up, we'll have figured out how to use it and everything. I like that idea personally. I know people are looking at $400 or $500 to get a good printer, but it is for a township, so you might have to spend more money than this, but are you guys okay if we consider doing that as opposed to this contract here?
I think it would be nice to have something set up that we could all centrally print to as well. And I think that would be easy to do with the new copier. So, and it sounds like really the cost of a new copier would be paid for in 2 years of service for the old one, so that sounds agreeable to me.
All right, so you want me to look around and get some prices and deals and whatever we need and all that kind of stuff?
If you want to,
for the next
or we
meeting?
could help, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, we can all come up with ideas for it. I like that idea right there. It is kind of a waste of money to spend $595, but they've already told us they can't fix it if it breaks, so.
It worked, I thought it worked pretty well, but you guys use it way more than I do, so.
It jams up every time we turn around.
Well, you
Yeah.
must fix it before I use it.
So we'll have more information on that before the next meeting.
Does Staples, we have a Staples account, do they have equipment that's commercial that, yeah,
Well, yeah.
yeah, okay, sure.
All right, that's all I have.
Do you want to put that into, do we need to put that into a motion, or?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that instead of entering into a contract with Team Office Technologies for repairs of our copier that can't be repaired, that we use the money toward purchasing our own copier, printer, whatever it turns out that we do need for the township.
I second it.
Yes.
You gotta.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Ed, Tiffany?
Yes.
Someone will have to notify them, or do we have to notify them that we're not gonna enter into a contract or not?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I have.
Anything else for buildings and grounds? Okay, we'll move on to the fire department.
For last month, we ended up with 30 calls, 24 medical, 2 fire calls, 4 MVAs, and to date, we're at 109 calls for service. And 3 of the 4 accidents were 224, 225, so feel free to I'm going to skip around a little bit on the sheet the way we are. I'm going to go under old business. Last trustees meeting, you guys approved, appointed Lieutenant Badelli and Lieutenant Upwell for the EMS officers. So we couldn't at that time get them sworn in, so we said we'd get them at a later date, so I did talk to the commissioner, and and he's here tonight to swear them two in as officers. So I'd like to do that first in case
Want to do that first?
in case he has to go.
Commissioner Badalamenti has agreed to come down and swear these in. He has some other officers for us, and we appreciate him doing that. Scott got that for you. And
Which one? Kaylee?
She says, I'll let you face them. Put your right hand on the Bible. This is not. All right. Repeat after me, please. I, Kaylee Leahy, uphold, appoint as Lieutenant in Deerfield Fire Department. I swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Ohio. And I will fairly, honestly, and impartially discharge the duties of Lieutenant of Deerfield Fire Department. I pledge to carry out the duties of Lieutenant to the best of my abilities. I will honor and respect the mission, the goals, the purpose, the policies of Deerfield Fire Department. I pledge to promote and protect to the best interest of Deerfield Township through the fiscal responsibilities, honesty, integrity, and loyalty. I will never allow personal feelings nor danger to myself deter me from my responsibilities. I will at all times respect the property, the rights of all the people, the laws of my country, and memberships that I serve. I recognize the badge of my office as a symbol of public faith, trust, and accept so long as I'm true to the ethics of the fire service. I accept this self-imposed, self-enforced obligation as my responsibility and make these promises to solemnly swear freely upon my honor. Dated May 13th, 2024. Congratulations. Todd. I, Todd Bardelli, as Lieutenant of the Deerfield Fire Department, swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Ohio. And I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially discharge the duties of Lieutenant of Deerfield Fire Department. I pledge to carry out the duties of the Lieutenant to the best of my ability. I will honor, respect the mission, the goals, the purpose, the policies of Deerfield Fire Department. I pledge to promote, protect to the best interest of Deerfield Township through the fiscal responsibility, honesty, integrity, and loyalty. I would never allow personal feelings nor deter to self deter me from my responsibility. I will at all times respect the property, the rights of all people, the laws of the country, and as a member and members that I serve. I recognize the badge of my office as a symbol of public faith, trust, and accept so long as I am true to the ethics of the fire service. I accept the self-imposed, self-enforced obligation to my responsibility to make the promise so solemnly swear freely upon my honor. Dated May 13, 2024. Congratulations, Lieutenant.
thank you guys very much for doing that. We appreciate it. Great thing. Thank you, Commissioner, for driving through down here to do that for us. Thank you.
Next, Derek is not here, but I'd like to recognize Derek. Atwater Fire Department and Sebring Fire Department, their EMSs for over the weekend. We had a cardiac arrest in the township, and as of today, the person's still alive. He was in full cardiac arrest when they got there. They performed CPR, and as of right now, he's still with us. So, so I'd like to commend all of them on a great job working teamwork together.
Absolutely.
Next thing I have is for the Memorial Day parade. We do have a flyer we got made up by Alicia, because they would make one up for us, if you guys want to take a look at it, see if it's okay with you for us to send it out.
Who did this?
Alicia.
It's beautiful.
Very nice.
Looks great to me.
I like it.
I like it too.
You guys can have that copy.
Okay, that's ours, the Katie.
Yeah.
All right.
Have a few if you want.
And we can add the parade to the board if we get it fixed.
Correct.
Yes. Are you gonna send these,
You
print
you have more?
distances?
There's more in your boxes.
We have more.
Okay.
Now we know who to go to for pretty flyers. That's great.
Here's a couple extra right off. Thank you.
Do you have any questions about the parade?
My understanding is our job and description is to line everybody up and to take the parade down. And then, is that still correct?
Normally we have someone from the fire department lead the parade, and someone stays up in the circle with flashing lights and everything and blocks it and follows up in the end. And people that come to line up, most of them have been there before, they know exactly where to line up. However, we do have a lot of golf carts come now, and different things come, and they just kind of fall into place. We do have to be conscious of when they're there and get them in, when it's time for them to go out. I know it's the first time you guys have done it per se, but I'll be there and other people will be there that have done it before, and it'll work out very well. It always does.
And Nancy, through the civics, calls the sheriff and blocks the road.
Yeah, sheriff and state patrol always cooperate with, either one or both of them sends units down to help us with blocking the road and safety and all that stuff. So I have no doubt that one or both of them will show up again this year to do the same thing.
Okay. I appreciate that. Next thing I have is I'd like to recognize we've had 6 of our employees take the EMR class, and they successfully passed it so far on the first try. And that, when I call your name, if you just please stand up. Angela Doe. Big asset to our department to have 6 new of our employees able to help out. Appreciate it.
Just for the general public, can you just give like a quick overview of that role of an EMR?
Okay, there's actually EMRs, EMTs, EMT Advanced, and paramedics, all 4 within the EMS system. The EMRs are the first line, first responders that can assist, and we can transport with an EMR and at least an EMT or above. They make a full crew. They can do basic life savings and bleeding control and anything we need on that aspect. CPR, they're good for that, and well trained in that aspect, I should say. We're very happy to have them all.
I think that's really exciting because one of our challenges was sometimes not always having that second person who's qualified to drive. So hopefully that would really help,
Correct.
like minimize the amount of mutual aid that we require.
Correct.
I'd like to personally thank all of those. I know that pushed you guys through the class pretty quickly. Covered a lot of territory and all the different classes and everything. And I know everyone the last week or so was scrambling before the test. Poor Tim, he'd come into work at 6:15 in the morning, and I had 9 hours of work lined up for him, and he still had to study and everything before he went to class that night. And I know he was pretty hectic for a while there. I'm sure the rest of you were too, trying to get everything done. And thank you guys very much for dedicating the amount of time you did to do that and the studying you had to do. And hopefully you guys all like it. And we'll move forward on up through the ranks a little bit and everything. We would surely encourage you to look into that. Thank you guys all.
And thank you for coordinating that. I think that was a great idea.
the grant was very instrumental in helping us do this, and this is what's because of the previous administration helped us get the grant, so now we can build on it, move on, and get more people in our area, and it's able to help us. Very happy with all you guys, very pleased.
Thank you.
All right, next thing, the grant, as we're talking about the grant. I know you talked to Derek, he was supposed to have been here, I don't know, something must have happened that he didn't make it. The first section of the grant will close in June. So we're trying to get everything ordered in avenues of what we're supposed to do for the first through June. Derek, like I say, knows more about it. Did he communicate some with you today about?
A little bit, something about loose cows or something, I'm not sure, but the grant is a 4-year grant, and there is some money allocated just for the first year for, I guess, giving us equipment that we need to get us up and running. Some of those things included like technology, the computers, the laptops, the screen. And one of the things I think we've been struggling with, if you can correct me if I'm wrong, is signage. We can get a big billboard sign for in front of the fire department. The struggle has been the amount allowed by the grant was really not kind of close to what the signage costs. So when I spoke to him briefly today, he said that it's coming along. They got approved for the EHP for the sign and construction on the building, and that was another thing. We have $10,000 for construction. That is very specific of how we do that. We can't break new ground. It has to be in addition to something we already have, which I think the plan is to use the new bunk room for that. It will not cover that entire new project by any means, but a huge help to do that. And he also mentioned that the projection screen and working on papers to send for the grant writer to get reimbursed for that. So it sounds like we're on track to meet that deadline, just finishing up some paperwork as I understand.
Correct. And I'm currently working on some of the clothing. I'm working on the clothing side of it, like class uniforms for our personnel and stuff. It's covered in this first. I'm currently working on that right now, so that will be purchased very soon too. More T-shirts, so we can still equip everybody. That'll be part of it. So we're well within our budget of that right now, so we're coming good with that. So. Now,
is that coming from the clothing allowance or the incentive part where we can use it as?
Both.
Both, okay.
Both, yeah. So we're getting the incentive part of it, and then there's going to be a special gift for people on that, and then there will be the other. We're still working, and we're still trying to get answers on we have $50,000 a year to spend on training, that kind of stuff. We're still working to get them to give us correct answers on that, because our goal is that we can pay somebody an incentive to stay at home, to be a second person.
On call.
On call. So we're just waiting on Washington DC to give us an answer on that, so hopefully soon we'll have that. Because I don't even think we're close to the $50,000 for the first year.
Okay.
We'll try. Any questions on any of the stuff about buying, purchasing?
The electronic sign, is that up in June? I didn't think that was, or is it?
It is.
The money allowed for that, we're not gonna have enough money to get one, are we?
Well, I tried to get an update from Derek, and he said he got it approved, if he's got a place he's going through, I believe, so.
Okay.
That's hot on my list of, we gotta
I
get
know
that done.
initially I've got some quotes and, you know, there was above and beyond what I told him this is what we have to work with, so hopefully he got someone that can do it with the amount of money we
Even if
have.
it's close, we can pitch in a little bit more to cover
Yeah,
the
we'll have
rest,
to,
but,
so, yeah, we don't wanna lose that money.
right.
Derek was talking because he talked us into the church. Trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
So I was just explaining to her about the sign. The first price of the sign we got was $25,000.
Yeah.
And what was our budget for that, 10 or 15?
15, I think.
15.
Sign. So trying to see if they'll work with us a little bit.
The one at the church was 10,000.
Well, I know we discussed
that we just
the
got.
person who, the
Yeah,
company who
that's it.
did that, so
Yeah.
I believe they called to
He's
get
out
a
of
quote for
lines,
that
yeah.
too, so.
Yeah.
All right.
So we'll keep you updated on all that. Under education, 2 Sundays ago, we had a really good training on the boats with Berlin Fire. We did some boat operations, we did some placing the mannequin in the water and finding with our sonar and stuff. Really good training. We're going to be training more on the water, coming up with them, because we're going to work together if something comes up, so they're very good at teaching us. And the last thing I have an application for a new paramedic firefighter, which could not be here today because he was actually working a shift tonight in another department. His name is Nate Winslow. He lives in Homeworth. He is a certified paramedic and also a firefighter, and he instructs many different things. She's going to take a look at it. Derek and I both met with him. We both recommended we hire him to come in.
Maybe we could invite him to our next meeting. if
He
he's
was
able.
he was going to try to come tonight, but very educated.
He said he's an instructor too.
Found a lot of things.
Very, I've looked at this, very well educated, and I think it'd be a great asset.
Paramedic firefighter too. I would make a motion that we hire Nathan, is it Weisel, to join our department on a 1-year probationary period.
I'll second. Good.
I second it.
Yes?
Roll call, Laura?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes?
Tiffany?
Yes. Where does this end up, with them, with us, with you?
With me first, and then it goes back to you.
Okay. All right, anything else, Scott?
Do we want to discuss this policy?
Yeah, I think we could, as long as everyone has had a chance to have a look at it. As we're evolving with our grant money and kind of growing the department, we have to sometimes make adjustments to the manual. One of the things that the FEMA grant is paying for us is physicals and drug screenings, alcohol screenings for our firefighters and our EMTs, or not just EMTs, all the medical employees. So, but we didn't have a policy of what we do if something is to come up positive. So, Derek and I did a little bit of research about how the universities around here, the schools, what kind of requirements they have. And, we were doing that NFPA physical exam, 10-panel drug screen, and a vision screening. And then Derek put together a very basic policy about, a guideline of what happens if someone does test positive, just the requirements. And we were just presenting this today for approval. So I don't know if you and Laura had enough time to look that over.
I read it before the meeting and everything. I'm good with it.
I'm good with it.
I'll make a motion that we accept that.
I'll second.
Yes.
Laura?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes?
Tiffany?
Yes. So as the department grows, we'll just have to continually make improvements and adjustments to those policies. And I think this one was a good one. So thank you, Derek, for doing that. Okay. Anything else for the fire department today?
Just an update on our building project up there. The architect is pretty well done with his part of it. He's turned it over to a mechanical engineer who has to insert in the drawings furnaces, drains, sinks, all that kind of stuff. He has to physically put all that stuff on the plans and everything. So that's where that's at now, and as soon as those two are done, they'll give it to us for an approval. This is what we expect it to look like, blah, blah, blah. At that point in time, then we'll just have to turn it into the Portage County Building Department for approval. So that is moving forward. They are getting quite a bit done on that, actually, so.
And then one last update with the fire department. We did have some progress with our November investigation. It has been completed by the third party. It just has not been presented to us yet. So Once that is presented to us, I'm thinking we're aiming for by the end of this month to potentially have a special meeting to further discuss that. So the investigation is complete. It just has not been presented to us at this time. So I'm anticipating that we may be able to do that by the end of the month. That is the goal. And that's all I have for that. All right, so do we have any other further old business? Did we pretty much cover everything? Any new business? All right.
Nothing I have.
Anyone? Any other public commentary? We said we would give an opportunity at the end of the meeting. That way if anyone had questions or concerns about the things we discussed in the meeting. Going once, going twice, sold. Okay. Now, we do tend to have a second meeting if needed. Unfortunately, or fortunately, however you look at it, the fourth Monday of the month is Memorial Day, so we will not be able to have a meeting at that time, although we may be anticipating a special meeting sometime that week. So we will advertise that and post that as that comes up. So, anything else?
I have nothing additional.
Just flower planting.
Oh,
Flower planting, since
Yes,
the
please.
geraniums are coming in.
yes. You
This
want to tell everybody
Saturday?
when we're doing that?
We wanted to put them in this Saturday.
Yeah.
We want to get them in this Saturday.
Well, if we're picking them up this week, we should probably try to get them in the
Yeah.
ground. Nobody do any rain dances Friday. We need good weather Saturday morning so we can plant flowers. So typically when we do that, we kind of all meet at the circle 9 a.m. on Saturday. If anybody wants to come, bring a little shovel, gloves. We play music, put coffee out, try to make it fun and try to beautify the circle. We tried to order plants that would match the baskets without having the baskets in front of us to match. We're trying to get the colors. So hopefully that'll be really pretty. And if anybody wants to participate, please come. Please come.
And I know you have your plant swap at 10, but last year we were done in an hour. Okay?
The more people that come.
The more people that come, then, I mean, because we have a little system. We mark, dig the hole, and then people follow and put the plants in, and it goes quick. Because I have stuff to bring to yours, but I also want to plant. So 9 o'clock Saturday, we'll put a little thing on Facebook to invite. We usually have a...
Well, minions are good. Do you want to tell people about the plant swap?
Well, I can. We
Go
have
ahead.
had a perennial plant swap in Deerfield for a number of years. This year, it is this coming Saturday at 10 o'clock at the marketplace. That's where it's been the last few years. You basically, if you're a gardener and you have flower beds and so forth that you need to divide plants and so forth, you're welcome to bring divisions, potted or not, and swap them out for some that maybe you don't have already.
You do a round robin.
We do a round robin, so it doesn't take very long. You can stay longer if you want, but the actual swap lasts usually less, a half hour maybe.
What
You
time?
can even dig them up
10
and
a.m.
put them in garbage
Plastic
bags. I mean, they don't even have to go in a pot,
Yeah.
So,
Sign-in time is 10 o'clock, and then the swap itself will start at 11. But once it starts, that's it. There's no latecomers because of the way it's done.
right.
You draw numbers and you go around in that order and pick one plant per round.
So plant at 9 a.m. at the circle. Go get more plants, take them home, and plant those too. All right. Anything
And
else?
then it can rain.
And then it can rain, hopefully. All right. So if,
I do want to bring one thing up.
yeah.
We approved hiring this engineering group, the Thrasher Group. They did send us an online invoice. It's going to be a month before we have another meeting. I'd like to make a motion that Tracy can go in and pay the invoices, $2,808 and some change. And after that's paid, then we turn that into our insurance company for reimbursement.
And I'm sorry, I've lost track of which one we're talking. Is this for the gazebo?
This is for the gazebo.
Yeah, sure.
I just wanted to make sure that we were covered for paying it. I know we agreed to hire them and pay whatever the fee was. I just want to make sure that they could go ahead and write the check here since we're not going to have a meeting for another month.
I think we already
Approximately a
discussed
month.
it, but if you want to make a motion just to make sure we have it covered, I'm fine.
If you
with
guys
that.
are good with it, I'm pretty sure we did discuss it. So as long as you guys are good, I just wanted to bring it up. I won't make another motion. So
Okay.
I know they don't have a check for it tonight, but maybe they can get a check in the next few days and we can mail it out to them then.
Okay, just let us
Okay?
know.
Thank you.
All right, so if there's nothing else, I will make a motion that we adjourn the meeting and pay our bills.
Second.
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Ed,
Yes.
Tiffany.
Yes. Will we have a big turnout at the fire department in the Memorial Day parade? Is everybody coming to drive and throw candy at children, to children? Maybe
Yes.
today.
What's the date today?
The 13th.